Tottenham Hotspur that they meet 2 weeks yesterday. Mason Mount on as a substitute, 2 goals. And Casemiro and Højlund back at the gold standard as well.
Oh, I'm so pleased, I have to be honest with you. Manchester United supporter, but these are great scenes now. This has been a difficult season, really tough season for these players, manager, the whole kind of football club. They've dragged themselves to this point. They're in a European final. He's loving it.
First final since 21.
Yeah, it's fantastic, it really is. It's a very difficult moment, this football club, George, these players. It's not going to be a quick fix, but it'll help just in terms of the positivity, the energy around the football club. Pulling the football club together, you feel it needs a bit of that. Owners, supporters, players, they need to come together going forward, and this will really help. This is a big step forward.
So they're in a European final for the 9th time and the first time since 2021. And in Bilbao, in 13 days' time, they'll meet Tottenham Hotspur, who are still playing in Norway, but are 5-1 up on aggregate, 2-1 on the night. That's going to be some night. 3 defeats to Tottenham this season. Can they turn it around in 13 days' time? Diallo returns, but the stars of the show, after Haregazar had put Bilbao in front and given them a half-time lead, Mason Mount, Casemiro and Højlund. And Mason Mount with 2, just a whisker away from taking the match ball home. It all ended so well for Manchester United, and they are now on the way to another big European night and the chance of claiming a place in next season's Champions League. Disappointment for Bilbao, whose home final won't now take place for them, but it will take place for the Red Devils. The final score in Manchester United's favour: Manchester United 4, Athletic Bilbao 1, which means they win by the mighty total of 7-1 on aggregate. Bilbao, here they come.
Thanks, George, and thanks, Kenny. And how things can change so quickly in football. 7-1 on aggregate, and what a night it is in Old Trafford. It wasn't pretty overall, but they did score 4 goals tonight, John. You must be pretty happy with that now.
Listen, you'd have to be, but it's crazy football when you think of how a game can go. No one was seeing that scoreline at a half-time. Yeah, Bilbao were going to push and take more chances, but United started the second half that bit sloppy again. But listen, the manager earned his credit tonight with the substitutions, and they've got big decisions to make now with this final ahead.
They do, and I suppose that's a good thing for Ruben Amorim, that he has the choices now. He has these players coming back from injury, they're making the difference, they're coming on, they're having that impact, just like that man there, Mason Mount. What a player, and delighted for him.
You're absolutely right in terms of the injuries that he's had, and it's been a stop-start United career, but he has that quality and he showed it. But Amorim made the decision. It wasn't a particularly happy one. He seemed to be annoyed, but he got those 3 players on as if he'd seen enough. Mount to come on for that composure, Shaw likewise, and Diallo looked electric as well. So if you can get more minutes into those 3 players, I think they'll threaten the starting lineup. I genuinely believe that. I know it's only kind of 10 days or so till it, but they've got a massive opportunity here, United. Unbelievable result.
Yeah, it is 13 days, so it's a quick turnaround. But, they'd be delighted that they've been able to close this game out in the manner in which they have. Richard, this has been the story constantly for United in Europe.
Yeah, it's crazy because the start of the second half they got pinned back, they couldn't get out of half, and it looked like this is going to be a long second half for them. But then they made the substitutions. I thought Diallo was fantastic in terms of the intensity that he played at, and then they sensed the weakness, which they did last week. They sensed a little bit of, I suppose, self-pity from Atletico, and they just went for them and they scored the goals. And when you do sense that weakness, good teams put you to bed, and Man United done that for the last 15 or 20 minutes. So a fantastic result for them. They managed to dig deep and stay in the game, and they've got a surprising result in the end, but a fantastic result, and set up a wonderful final.
Yeah, Europa League final to look forward to. And as we can see, the fans are delighted, John, but there's no real over-the-top celebrations from the players either.
Yeah, I think they realise, listen, they've had a proper game here. I know the scoreline doesn't suggest that, but they definitely know they've been in a proper game over both legs, and it will be one of them. It's a big sigh of relief, just thinking, right, glad that's over with, and we can just look forward to the final. And somehow, listen, whatever happens, he's spoken about playing younger kids in the Premier League. I'm sure he'll double down on that now a little bit, with the hindsight of getting a bit more minutes into those players that we've just mentioned as well.
Yeah, and the fact that it is an all-English final, it'll be interesting for Tottenham and for Manchester United. And here we can see the full-time scenes in Norway as Tottenham have got the job done over Bodo Glimt. So it does set up a really nice final, Gary.
It's an incredible final. It's one that we hoped it could possibly be at the beginning of the draw and how it kind of played out. And I think both teams will be delighted that it is this final. I think they'll both feel that they can win. I think Manchester United can win games because of their quality, and they're a team of moments, and they've proved that throughout this campaign. But Tottenham will look at them, bearing in mind how strong they've been against United in the Premier League, or 3 times this season. They'll genuinely believe that they can. So both managers must think they can get their hands on this trophy.
It feels like there's a lot on the line for both managers. Like, we've talked so much about Ange, we've talked so much about Ruben, but it does feel like they both need to win this.
100%. It's make or break for them, for both of them. But I think for the players, both sets of players have had a huge amount of criticism all season. They've had loads of pressure piled upon them. They've had everyone doubting whether they're good enough, and they have now put themselves in a position where they can go, do you know what, we've won a trophy, so stuff you, sort of thing. And both clubs are desperate for success and a return to where they want to be, to the top table. And they've just given themselves the opportunity.
They have the chance now.
Both of the teams have got some of their best players coming to full fitness, coming back to full fitness, building up to it. So it's going to increase the quality level of the final as well.